welcome back to yet another video, and to a very special video, because today I've just added a very special Cars item to my collection. I stopped by a collectible store earlier today, and they had Cars. I go to collectible stores and comic book shops all the time, mainly looking for Star Wars figures, but the one I went to today actually had Cars. The first time I've ever been to a collectible shop that sold Cars, and it was so surreal. Because they had a 2006 The King, 2006 Mater, 2008 Daryl Cartrip, 2008 Mario Andretti, and a 2009 Race Tow Truck Tom all in a peg. Unfortunately, those were their only cars, so all cars that I already had. But I decided to pick up this Mater because he's the original release of Mater. Now, I do have this Mater out of the package, and I mean, he's broken in about 4 pieces, but I have him. He's in pieces, but I do have him. So I bought this Mater to keep in the box. Of course, I still keep that broken Mater on display on my table. I've put him back together, and I have several other regular Maters that I display alongside him. But this I got to keep in the box. Even though I don't really collect Cars diecasts in package, my only other one is Nigel, which was given to me by mistake, and I just kept him in the box. But I decided to get this and keep it in the packaging because it's really a part of history for the Cars diecast line. It is the original Mater. Now, the reason why I bought only Mater and none of the other cars there to keep in package, like I said, there was a 2006 The King, it's because Mater definitely had the nicest card back out of all the ones there. You know, if I'm going to keep him in the box forever, I want him to be in a box that looks nice, and I think Mater's does look pretty nice. But now I am very excited to show you guys an up-close look at the original 2006 Cars diecast packaging. I'm sure you've all seen it before. This guy wasn't very expensive. None of the 2006 cars are very expensive because those same diecasts are released to this day, although with, of course, several changes. Mater's had several changes as well, of course. He wasn't that expensive in the store or online. Like I said, none of them really are, but it's just so cool for me to be holding this because I haven't held one of the original 2006 cars in the package for over 15 years. I don't even remember if I ever have held one of these because I was so young when I got all of the cars from 2006 for the first time. It's so crazy and surreal for me to have this in my collection. And again, although it's not really rare or expensive, it's just a really cool addition for me. Anyway, let's take a closer look at what it was like when the Cars line was first starting out. The first thing I want to point out up here is the packaging says Disney presents a Pixar film, Cars, instead of just saying Disney Pixar Cars like it's said on every single year since. So since this was when Cars was first coming out, it's Disney presents a Pixar film. This was before Disney bought Pixar as well, which might be why it says that instead. We have the 3 and Up logo here on the corner. I'm not sure, I think the age logo is now in the bottom corner, which I definitely prefer, but here it's on this cute little stylized Radiator Springs logo. I did say Mater had the nicest card back out of the cars here that were being sold in that store, but he does have some punctures in him. It almost looks like he was stapled to something at some point, but they're pretty difficult to see, especially from a distance, so I'm fine with it. Here is your classic Mater artwork. This artwork actually came back this year for his 2022 release after Mater started using his Cars 2 artwork for several years. I honestly prefer his Cars 2 artwork to this, but it's interesting to see them bring that back for this year. You have this really interesting shape with these like angles going inwards and outwards. That was something that was kept on Cars diecasts for a very long time. You can see it stayed all the way to 2010, continued into 2011 and 2012, and was sort of there in spirit for the following years. It took until 2017 with Cars 3 to switch to a rectangular shape instead of a more unique angular shape. This also has this downwards slant that, again, the diecast packaging had until Cars 3 came out. That's something I never really realized. Despite the fact that I've had this background for my reviews for several years. This is super outdated, by the way. I need to update this to 2022. I'll probably do that after On the Road diecasts get revealed. But you could really see that angle downward stayed until Cars 3. Another interesting thing here is that, of course, it has a additional plastic hook instead of the cardboard hook that we've been used to for the past over a decade now. not really much else of note on the front, aside from the shape of the bubble, which is pretty interesting. Very round. This diecast is pretty heavy because this is an original Mater when he was full metal instead of what they did afterwards where the back half was plastic, although I believe since the Thailand switch, he's now been full metal again. We have the nameplate there, which is on the inside of the bubble, unlike some of the years that followed where it was like a sticker on the outside, I believe. Or no, actually, I think it was always on the inside. I'm not too sure. I think there were some years where the name tag... Well, no, but usually the name tag has a bit of an outcropping compared to here where it's just on the bubble. You can see all the legal information is on the bottom here, notably made in China or Thailand as marked. Now, I don't know what is on this Mater since I'm not going to open him up, but, oh wait, actually, it says it on the back. This is made in Thailand, which means it is one of the originals. The cars were made in Thailand before being made in China. Back in 2006. So this Mater specifically was made in Thailand, which is cool, which means he's even older than he could have possibly been. And the back here is where things get really interesting. At first we have this license to win sweepstakes, which is really funny. Void where prohibited, open to all legal residents of 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Canada, excluding Quebec. Why not Quebec, guys? Why not Quebec? Official miles will be accepted for redemption from April 1st, 2006 through October 31st, 2006. Guys, there's still time to enter! For a full set of official rules, go to carsandmovie.com. Highly doubt that website is still up. Here we have Mater. Another picture of him. Interesting, we don't often get another image of the character on the back of the packaging, and Mater's is literally the same, just with a silver border now. He has a individual character description, which I think this was the only year they ever did that. Dadgum, it just don't get more fun than tractor tipping with Mater. That was painful to read. They styled it like how Mater speaks. He is also the best dang backwards driver in Radiator Springs. That tells me nothing about him. That tells me nothing about who he is as a person or as a car. But okay. It just don't get more fun than tractor tipping with him. That's a really bad description for a character for when the movie is first coming out. Like, if you haven't seen Cars, what does that mean? It's not a good character description. But we actually get a synopsis for Cars, as again, this is for when the movie was first coming out. Cars is a journey of speed, of discovering new places and new friends. And in the end, it's not always about where you end up. It's about how you get there. And then we have Collect Them All, easily the most interesting thing on the packaging here, as none of these are what the diecasts actually ended up looking like, aside from maybe Fillmore and sorta Mater. These are very early prototypes for the first ever wave of Cars diecast singles. I believe later releases from 2006 included some of the later releases of the year, like Leakless, Nitro 8, and Green Ramon, but here we have the original initial singles lineup. If you're wondering where characters like Ramon, Flo, Luigi, Guido, Boost, and Snotrod were, those guys were all saved for 2-packs that year. But you can see Sheriff, Lightning, Doc, King, just King, Wingo, Sally, Lizzie, Mater, Sarge, Chick, not even Chick Hicks, he's just labeled as Chick here, Fillmore, and DJ. And again, these are all such early prototype photos. None of them really look anything like their final releases. Fillmore looks pretty spot on to the official Fillmore. Mater looks enough like himself. Same with Doc. Wingo's sort of. So many of them just look off. Like, look at McQueen or Chick Hicks especially. Honestly, kind of looks like a knockoff. They kind of look like the Disney Star Cars, if I'm being honest. DJ here is just an anomaly because for whatever reason they still use that image for DJ to this day, but none of these other original prototype images. I have no clue why they still use that for DJ, but for whatever reason, they still do. I just don't get it. We have small parts may be generated, each sold separately, blah, 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 your typical legal stuff, and again, made in Thailand. But there you have it, guys. Just thought this would be an interesting video to do. It's crazy to look at this, which is now 16 years old. Oh, man. It's really awesome to have this in my collection, though. Maybe I'll try to get all of the 2006 Cars package. That would be cool. I probably won't do that. That store had the King, and I passed up on buying him. At least I want to get a 2006 McQueen. That's been my goal for years. And maybe, if I do, I'll do a video like this I probably won't, because the whole point of this video was just to show how different the packaging used to be and just what it was like back when the movie was first coming out. And I hope you guys enjoyed taking a closer personal look at an old 2006 car with me. Anyway guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.